Wanted to talk today about Jalen Hurts and how he's got to get back to having fun. Then, the Sixers and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid. Maxey has a lot of fun, which is always good. While I want to spend some time today talking about Jalen Hurts, obviously, Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers could heavily dominate the conversation today. We're going to take your thoughts on the Eagles, the Sixers, anything else you want to talk about live right here in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network. We're live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You know the drill. Hit all those like, share, retweet, subscribe buttons, follow buttons, whatever you can do to help grow this show, help grow this great morning program that I've been growing here for a few years. All those clicks, they help out greatly. But most importantly, get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section on today's topics and any topics you want to talk about. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, at Beard and Knowledge on all social media platforms. We'll shoot me a follow if you can find me on there. That's what I'll be under. And we got lots to talk about today. Lots on the agenda today. As we have a lot on the agenda every day, and you never know where the conversation is going to go throughout the show, as we learned yesterday and other days. But got lots I wanted to cover today. And the initial thing that I thought of for today was with all the Sixers talk, and then with the Pro Bowl this weekend, the thing that Jalen Hurts is missing this year more than anything, he just didn't seem like he was having fun. You go out there and you watch Tyrese Maxey play on a daily basis, and he looks like he's a young kid. He's having fun. Well, Jalen Hurts is only 25, 26 years old. He should still be having fun. We got to find a way. And you saw him laughing and having a good time, a little personality and life back in him at the Pro Bowl, Jalen Hurts. We need that. We need that Jalen Hurts back, the guy having fun. Also, Sixers conversations today. Another loss last night to the Mavericks last night. The Joel Embiid injury, still unresolved because the surgery hasn't happened. We don't know the situation there. But, man, the Sixers look bad right now without Joel Embiid. Furthering the conversation from yesterday that Jalen Hurts Joel Embiid is the most valuable athlete we've seen in Philadelphia since Allen Iverson. I mean, there's a lot of pressure put on a 23-year-old Tyrese Maxey right now. Are we putting too much pressure on him? This is the kind of pressure that can shape a career, good or bad. Are we putting too much on Tyrese Maxey? What do the Sixers really have outlook-wise without Joel Embiid, barring a massive trade from Daryl Morey? Duck checking in right away this morning. What do you think Hurts was playing tight because of the paycheck and injury? That's actually a very fair question. Was he playing tight? It's very fair. You got the weight of the world on you, Jalen Hurts, when you sign a $250 million contract as a quarterback. He's 25 years old, just took his team to the Super Bowl. Did the pressure get to him? Did the pressure take some of the fun away from Jalen Hurts, which is also a little bit of the fear that I have with Tyrese Maxey right now. We all say every athlete can handle the pressure. Doesn't mean they actually can. Was getting that paycheck. I remember a story way back when Alex Rodriguez, after he retired, maybe it was before he retired, but he was very candidly asked about his steroid use, in baseball. And he very candidly answered the question. And I don't remember when this interview was, at what point of his career, or even who did the interview. But I remember him saying, and I quote, "The pressure of signing that contract with the Texas Rangers got to me. And I felt like I had to do even more. And steroids were the easy answer." Now, I'm not saying I need Jalen Hurts taking steroids or this or that. But when you sign those type of contracts, top paid in your position or in your sport for as long as it lasts or for as little as it lasts, it's a lot of pressure to ask, and especially a lot of pressure of young men. Jalen Hurts being 25 years old. You look at the Sixers, Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is the most fun athlete there is to watch in Philly right now, in the sense where he literally looks like he's a kid having fun on the playground. You never see him moping. You never see him hanging his head. He is always having fun. There's a lot of pressure on him now. I ran a poll after last night's Sixers game. Where are the Sixers going to end up in the Eastern Conference? And they're in the 5 seat right now, but they're slipping. There's 31-ish games left in the season. The odds are they're not going to slip completely out of the playoffs. There's a damn good chance that they can't even hold on to the 6th seat at this point. They're not far from the 7 or 8 seat right now at this point. Are we putting too much pressure on Jalen Hurts or on Tyrese Maxey, just like Jalen Hurts? Is it asking too much sometimes? And I'm concerned about Tyrese Maxey. I'm concerned about what Daryl Morey, Tuesday is the NBA trade deadline. Saw my man run it back. Or maybe it was RB. Somebody tweeted this morning that Daryl Morey's moves are going to be bringing back Danny Green, Montrezl Harrell, and picking up Kyle Lowry, and that's it. And they're going to sell us that's enough to tread water. It's not enough. You got to make a really tough decision for the Sixers, or as a Sixers executive. Do you go all in still? Do you still make moves and hope that Joel Embiid comes back? Or do you just continue treading water, developing some of these young guys, and just plan for the next year? Because it's a tough question. Because Joel Embiid, whether he comes back or not, is not going to be back anytime soon. Diamonds are created from coal put under extreme pressure. Absolutely. And I know that. And I think I even made that reference yesterday. What kind of diamond is going to be made out of Tyrese Maxey? But is it asking too much to try to create that diamond out of a 23-year-old kid? Was it asking too much of Jalen Hurts to match 2022 after signing that contract? I don't know. But in the both sense, let's not crack that diamond of Tyrese Maxey. And let's not write off Jalen Hurts. Let's find a way to get Jalen Hurts back to having fun. The Jalen Hurts that's smiling. The Jalen Hurts that plays loose. That Jalen Hurts that's a rising star. Tyrese Maxey, it came out late last night. I saw it this morning. Maybe it came out this morning. I don't know. The Tyrese Maxey will be performing in the 3-point contest in NBA All-Star Weekend. It's a big moment for him on the grand stage. I mean, he's going to be a big part of All-Star Weekend to begin with. He's going to be rubbing elbows at 23 years old with all the elite stars. His first time in this situation. I'm him. I'm soaking it in. I'm hanging out with some of these stars. And maybe, if there's time, picking some of their brains on how to be. A lot of these all-stars, they've been in this situation. One of a group of stars that somebody gets hurt. You got to carry your team. How to handle that pressure. Going from being the second guy to the guy. It's a very important weekend, All-Star Weekend for him. And on a side note, the 3-point shooting contest, it's my favorite. Out of all the things out there, I love it. Right there with the home run derby. And it's the premier event, in my opinion. All-Star Weekend. More important than the dunk contest. It should go off last, not the dunk contest, even though the dunk contest will always be the last event on skills night. 3 points should be the last thing. And you got he's the first Sixer since I believe it was Kyle Korver. I got notes somewhere on the screen here. There it is. Last Sixer since Kyle Korver was in '04 and '05s, joining Allen Iverson, which I couldn't believe Allen Iverson did. He wasn't really a huge 3-point shooter, but I remember Dana Barros and Hershey Hawkins participating in it. Gerald Henderson participated in it. So there's not been many. 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 other Sixers have ever participated in the 3-point contest. It's crazy to see. The other names in the 3-point contest: Damian Lillard, Tyrese Halliburton, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, Lauri Markkanen, some stars, and Lauri Markkanen. Elite stars and Lauri Markkanen he's going up against. I can't wait to watch Tyrese Maxey in it. Now, do I think Tyrese Maxey will win it? I don't know. I'm really curious if his 3-point stroke is conducive to a 3-point contest. You got to have a snap of the wrist and be able to have a quick shot to get all those shots in. I don't know if he's got a quick enough release for it. Well, we're going to find out the way he does it. But it's a big moment for him. Hopefully, no matter what happens, because Jalen Hurts lost his smile. He lost his mojo. He lost his fun he was having playing football from the pressure. My hope is that Tyrese Maxey doesn't lose his smile because his smile is so infectious. Let's hope that Tyrese Maxey does not crack. Because let's think about it. Tyrese Maxey's got a big contract extension coming up this offseason. It's a max deal, and he's going to get it no matter what happens over the next 2 months. But it's a big deal. Will he be worth it? Will he be able to justify it based off of what he does over the next 2 months? That's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. What's up, Brett? Good morning. How you doing today? I always see you. You are not John Cena. It was fun going to the game last night, but the Sixers are in trouble. No identity without Joel Embiid. I forgot you went. Mitchie Poo. And we will get to this in a second, TMC, for sure. We will definitely talk about that. It was fun. But this team, let me tell you something. It doesn't have an identity. And the Dial, not going to crush them. You know, they put out their polls, the morning shows on the Dial and whatnot. Every show on WIP has a poll every day. Most of the time, pretty pathetic. But their poll was very simple this morning. Will Joel Embiid play again this season? And the answer sucks. Because I don't think Joel Embiid will play again, at least in the regular season. At this point, bare minimum, he can come back with a couple weeks left of the season, ramp up for the playoffs. But are you really going to put his knee into that kind of a pressure situation where it can make it worse? But see, the problem isn't will Joel Embiid play or not the rest of the season? The question that should be asked is, will the front office of the Sixers be transparent and tell us the truth? And I said my answer to the poll was no, with a side comment. But the Sixers front office is going to dangle that carrot out in front of us fans for the rest of the season. He might be back. We'll give you another update in 7 days. And that's frustrating. Just be transparent. You know, that's all we want out of our things. I don't know if you guys saw before yesterday's game or sometime during the day yesterday, Nick Nurse spoke about needing Paul Reed and Mo Bamba to step up a little bit. He was very transparent. He didn't throw anybody under the bus. He basically said, paraphrase, we need these guys to step up and play great every night, not every other night, or not once play great and then have a couple clunkers. We need them to be ready to go every night. That's the honesty we want from our coaches and our executives, not these non-transparent, dangling little fruits and roots and growing flowers and what. We want real hard answers. And that's what I love about Nick Nurse. Now, last night, Paul Reed and Mo Bamba did not answer the call from Nick Nurse. And that's a problem. Diamonds aren't made from coal, old wives' tale. Maybe, maybe not. Diamonds are made from pressure, right? So that's it. There's a reason I turned off sports talk 15 years ago and went with podcast. Yeah, look, I crushed the dial. You should never listen to the dial. You should always watch trending in the AM. And you small time content creators, that's what you should do. We're where the passion is, we're where the heart is. But they do raise some good questions sometimes. And some of their questions get crushed. But if you really think about why they're doing it, they're just a business. They're trying to get clicks. It's fine. I'm trying to get clicks every morning. That's why I ask you, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe and follow button. Morning, fellas. What's up, Dave? How you doing? Any thoughts on the recent news about how the players and Desai couldn't get along, and it got so bad many, like Reddick, were going to Howie and Nick? Yes, that is very interesting, Dave. Funny, I didn't address it yesterday, and I didn't even put it down in my. I've read all the comments, but I didn't write it down for some reason to address it. And I'm really, really curious about that and where that came from, and how that stayed under wraps all season long. Like that information did not get leaked. But we tried to say maybe after the season, after we saw what Matt Patricia did not do, taking over, we're like, see, Sean Desai wasn't the problem. But now we're getting information that maybe he was the problem. Maybe not the X's and O problem, but the communicator. You got to be a communicator as a coach. I see people now. I saw somebody yesterday. I forget who it was, suggesting, and people in the comments of his post agreeing, that the Eagles should consider keeping James Bradbury now because maybe it was Sean Desai and the problem there that caused this. That Bradbury's slip and play. I don't know, but it's really crazy. It's really a bad image and a bad look when your players got to go around the coordinator to Howie and Nick to complain. It really is. Jaden Springer locked up. I don't know what to do about Jaden Springer. At one side of me wants to ride it out with him and see what he's got and help him grow. Hey, play him 20 minutes a game no matter what now if this season's over. Part of me says he's your biggest trade chip also. And some games, Jaden Springer looks great. And some games, Jaden Springer just looks lost out there. Brett laid it out. No way. Tyrese Maxey is one of those small stars amongst giants in the NBA that kids migrate to like Iverson. He's already top 10 in jersey sales. I did see that, Mister. He is top 10 in jersey sales, and that's great. It's that smile. And that's what I'm concerned about. Like pressure, I think, got to Jalen Hurts a little bit this year. The injuries, it was coaching confusion. There's a lot of things. Pressure got to him. And I don't want Tyrese Maxey to feel the weight of the world on his shoulders right now because Joel Embiid is out. He's a 23-year-old kid. He's on his rookie contract. It's we want him to rise and elevate and be the next great superstar. It's also a lot to ask. And it concerns me. Not everybody can handle it that early. A slight delay on comments popping up on the screen here. Oops, see, I don't know what is going on. Nice having a coach being honest to the media, unlike the Eagles. Absolutely. And I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoy Nick Nurse's honesty when he's talking about players, about play, about games, everything. If the pressure is too much for these professional athletes and we've overestimated these players' skill sets, dealing with pressure is a big part of what we pay them for. Come on. I think that's a bogus way to look at it. Doesn't matter how much you're paying them. They're still people. They're still humans. You signed $250 million contract. It's a lot of pressure that goes with that. It doesn't matter whether you're worth it or not. A lot of pressure goes with it. And not everyone can instantly handle that pressure. Problem is, I think he's out for the regular, but Sixers will string us along in the Scott O'Neal way. Absolutely. And see, that's my problem with the Joel Embiid situation. That they're just going to dangle that carrot. I think he's done. I think they could hypothetically maybe have him back for the playoffs. But what's the point about bringing in an out of game shape Joel Embiid back and risking that knee not being 100%? But they're going to dangle it. They're going to tell us that Joel is going to be back. They're going to tell us that there's a chance, but I don't even think it's necessary. Just tell us now. Just call it now. Stop merch. There is new merch. Check out the description of the show. There's a link to my stream shirt, my shirt site in there. I do have merchandise. I could put a couple here, maybe up on the screen. Let's find the. Let me do a quick share screen here. There is a new merch store. The link is in the show. We've got the Core 12 trending in the AM shirt. Look at that. Look at that. We got the trending in the AM stop shirt. Different colors and styles available. And of course, the original Fairway to Heaven, not some knockoff tour. I am the original trending in the AM and Fairway to Heaven. There are new merch in the store. Check it out. Great way to support your local podcaster. There's older designs. I got a great Jalen Hurts Aim Higher shirt on there. So check that out. Dave is on it. Brett, we all know it's a more uniform carbon structure, but under pressure. I have no clue. That's news to me. I think it was a hit piece on the side to make Patricia look better. Huh. Was it? Who in the Eagles front office cares enough about Matt Patricia to do that? I don't know about that. I'm not sure either way. Pick Jade or KG and trade the other. Can't develop too many guys. We also have two-way guys. It's fair. It's fair. A lot of people love Springer. Word is the Western Conference loves KJ. So I don't know. What's up, John? How you doing? If Embiid's hurt and out for the season, will the Sixers be buyers or sellers? Well, I think they should be sellers. And tomorrow we'll have Sean Bernard on from Fox the Gambler, from Pick Swap Media, from PSN, from 97 different sites that he works for. But I love Sean. And we'll ask him that. Should they be sellers or buyers at the deadline? I think they need to be sellers. If Joel Embiid is truly out for the season, and there's a slim to zero chance of him playing again, there's no point in going out and trading for a DeMar DeRozan or an Alex Caruso. Now, you might want to go out there and get Andre Drummond so you have a real center that can play. But I'm not making major moves. If anything, I'm trying to develop the young guys, and I'm trying to go out there and acquire more assets for next offseason. You already got the max slots. One's going to go to Maxey. You're going to have to replace Tobias Harris or extend him. It's going to be an interesting offseason. But you worry about that. You don't worry about going all in. It came from a player and one of the most recent coaches that were let go this offseason, apparently. Maybe that's why they moved Matt to DC so late. They ignored him entirely as the season went along. Maybe it was. And maybe the one thing is Nick Sirianni is very good at taking bullets for his team and his coaches and his players and his organization. And he took a lot of the bullets and said it was my mistake to move Matt Patricia into that role. Well, maybe he had no choice, really. The defense wasn't bad when they moved on from Sean Desai, but it wasn't good. Did it get worse under Patricia? Absolutely. But, yeah, I don't know. Don't know, and I don't like hearing that either. I don't like hearing players not listening to coaches. Nice having an honest 76ers person, unlike Doc and Harris. Yeah. 100%. Nick Nurse does not. And see, the thing is, like, Nick Nurse, it's not like he threw Paul Reed and Mo Bamba under the bus yesterday when he spoke. He just spoke honestly, answering the question, and said, yeah, I want more out of them. There's a video floating around of after the Golden State Warriors game last night of Klay Thompson, who, yes, Mitchie Poo and I have said, trade for Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is not playing well the last 5 to 10 games of the season. And he has been benched late in games lately. And he had, I don't remember the exact quotes, but he was so honest and candor in his response. Yeah, it hurts. It sucks to have your skills diminish quickly like that or go into a cold stretch like this. Yeah, it sucks to be on the bench, but it's for the best thing of the team. Yeah, I didn't do my job, so I got benched. We need more candor and honesty from our people in sports, in media, hell, in entertainment. The problem is some people thrive under pressure and some don't. Kirk Cousins is someone who will play well until the brightest lights in the NFL is on him. But see, there's a difference there. Kirk Cousins is not an elite player. Now, Kirk Cousins, I mean, I guess there could be some argument, though, that, I mean, he was the first player to sign a fully guaranteed contract in the NFL. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that as well. Like, there's pressure. People deal with it differently. There is. And when there's big money involved, you see what they're made of. But sometimes the pressure gets it doesn't make them a bad athlete. It makes them human if they can't handle the pressure sometimes, in my opinion. Well, if Joel is out, wait until after Thursday and the trade deadline, then be honest. Plus, his procedure probably hasn't been done yet. Yeah, they haven't said what day. They said it will get done this week. I would have hoped they would have done it before the deadline, Tuesday, Wednesday, so you can get the doctor to give you the full response, even if they just give it to the front office and not to the people. But, so you know what you've got to work with. Is it going to be a 6-week recovery time for them, and then you have a chance or not? So I hope they don't wait till after the deadline to do the surgery, but yeah. Nick Nurse was criticized by Raptors players for overplaying them minutes. He doesn't believe in load management. Joel didn't even last half the season. That was the problem that I heard as well, mister. But I think he was doing pretty good with the overall load management of Joel Embiid. They were building big leads, and he was sitting fourth quarters. I don't know where his minutes rank at this point per game over the rest of his career, or at least last year. But I don't see any excessive minutes being played. He's been playing, even when everybody was healthy, 9, 10-man benches. He was rotating some guys in and out of the bench. So, big problem is it's not just Joel Embiid that's hurt for the Sixers. D'Anthony Melton's still not back. Should be soon. Robert Covington's played like 3 minutes total since he's been traded to the Sixers. But Batum is in and out of the lineup. Morris in and out of the lineup. Every other player sick at a different moment. They cared enough to bring a mad coach in and didn't bother to learn, to understand the team enough to pick it up when he got a chance to be the defensive coordinator. Yeah. They brought in a mad coach because of either A, argument one, that because they went to the Super Bowl, they were late to the table. Argument two, nobody wanted the job because they interviewed like 5 other guys and they all said no. One retired, one went back to college, one said nah. What about the Liam is my mate, Phil is my bro shirt? I didn't get to that one. I made shirts. I spent time yesterday and made 3 new designs for you. I expect some sold today. Mister, he stepped on someone's foot and then tweaked his knee against the Pacers. Not overused injury or Nick's fault. It was his and everyone's fault. Look, and you know what? And everyone wants to blame Kuminga. I don't think he was trying to do it dirty. I don't think he purposely tried to hurt Joel. But it was a bad situation. Look, Joel's a 7'2", 285-pound man. Those kind of people do not stay healthy all the time for very long. They're gonna fall. They're gonna hurt themselves. Some might want to call he flops too much, whatever. But he hits the ground a lot. He's gonna get banged up. We should be used to this by now. This is just the bed we've made, and we've got to sleep in it. Nick Nurse is like the honey badger. He don't give a shit. Yeah. But he does it the right way. Watch if the Sixers make no moves in 2 days. Yeah, their big move, in my opinion, is going to be bringing back Danny Green, maybe signing buyout market Kyle Lowry, maybe bringing back in Montrezl Harrell. That was RB's take this morning or last night, whenever I saw it. That's it. There's a strong chance. If that's what they're going to do, I'd rather them sell some things and get more tradable assets, more picks. If they're going to pack it in for the year and just dangle this Embiid fruit and do nothing, see if somebody wants Joel Embiid. Or not Joel Embiid, sorry. Whoa. No, I did not say that. Edit that out. See if anybody wants Tobias Harris. See if you can pick up an extra pick for Tobias Harris. Why not? The Sixers do miss Melton. See, the problem is Melton, I think, is used too much. I think Melton is best suited as a bench guy. 20, 25 minutes off the bench. When he's hot, great. Provides good defense. But him as a starter does not do anything for me. That's right. Hit that like button, 412. Hit that like button. And see, I just said it. And then the next comment, Phil, I'd move Tobias. His contract is over at the end of the season. Gets him. Detroit does supposedly want him. Get a young player in a draft pick? I don't know. Find a way to move him. If the season's over, yeah, they're probably going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to fall to the 7 to 10 play-in series. They probably will. It's just what's so frustrating. Because this year, this Easter, I mean, Cleveland, this is not a knock. Number 2 is Cleveland. Number 3 are the Knicks. They're not championship caliber teams. This year is the year the Sixers could have gotten out of the second round and made a deep run, maybe to the finals. This was their year. And of course, good things just can't happen for us. Every young offensive coordinator has to start somewhere, and most of them fail in their first opportunity. Brian Johnson will get another chance. He will. He'll get another chance. Absolutely. He'll be coaching somewhere in 2024. I don't know if he'll be coaching, calling plays in 2024, but he'll be coaching somewhere in 2024. There's no doubt in my mind. So our first Eagles game next year in Brazil. Yeah, I mean, we haven't touched on that yet. With who? We don't know with who. I saw a strong opinion that it could be based off of all the different circumstances on what gets you the availability. It's got to be a road team. It's got to be somebody's road game or a team that's got 9 home games and whatever. It counts as one of our home games. And our home opener is in Brazil next year. Friday night football, which I'm pumped for that. I know a lot of people with families don't like Friday night football. It takes away from high school and Little League football, but I love the concept of Friday night football. Friday night lights, way more than Thursday night. But the Eagles having their home opener, and Eagles Nation is uproaring. We got screwed, this and that. Look, we haven't had to do many international games as Eagles. The NFL's putting big personalities, big names, first ever game in Brazil in a stadium that holds about 45,000 people. They need a team that has a passionate fan base, that has big stars in Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown. You know, there's a reason for that. And it doesn't bother me. I don't go to the game, so it doesn't bother me. But Brazil, Eagles fans being upset, I don't think it matters. I think it's an honor to be chosen for that big of a moment. They didn't say the Jags are the team and the Philadelphia Eagles eventually down the line will be their opponent. No, it's the Eagles. And we'll learn our opponent eventually. We're going to sell the Facebook.
I'm here. We're having some problems, some technical difficulties here with the computer, but that is why I always have a backup plan. And I got the backup plan going here. Give me a minute. Try to get my other computer back up and running. I don't know what happened. My computer completely froze. I can't even do a control alt delete. Can't even do a control alt delete. Nothing's working on this computer right now. And I am not sure why. We're just going to power this one down and see what happens here. But I got you guys. I got you. Let's see what we got going on in the comments here. I don't know. I don't even know how many of these comments to get back up on the screen here. Let's see. What do we got here? It doesn't. Let's see. Will my computer even turn back on over here? It doesn't how anyone react to the pressure differentiate. Yes, absolutely. Agree with that. Maxey will get the pressure of being the man. Joel Embiid. Let's see here. I almost put you in timeout. 34 minutes per game. Yeah, absolutely. The men, my computer's still rebooting over here. We're working on it. We'll get the computer. Can you guys hear me on this side screen? This is my side screen. Check out those shirts. That's right. That's right. No, don't put that out. That was a big, big mistake on my part. My computer's rebooting. It's almost back up. What's this say here? Brett, I can tell that I've never been an athlete. Everybody's body is fatigued. Injuries happen. Okay. Brazil. That's right. You got to love a good Brazil. What the hell happened to my computer screen? Everything looks totally different on my computer screen over here. I think I had to run an update or something. I wonder how well Eagles fans will travel internationally. Yeah, that's it. All right. Give me a second to switch back here. Switching back.
Side screen. I don't want to be on this screen over there. Good. All right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the internet's down. Why are weak right now. I don't know what is going on and why I'm having problems. I got here. Give me a second. I am almost caught up on getting everything back to normal here. Got to mute some tabs. I don't know what the hell happened. Whatever. You know. Yeah. That's why you always have a backup plan. It's always why. I always got the side screen set up and ready to go just in case. That's a professional podcaster right there. Always with a side screen ready to roll. So technical difficulties do not end a show. And let's not argue who played and who didn't play. That's right. NFL script writer took Phil out. That's right. Took me out because, they can't have me, doing too much, and spewing too many facts on this show. Our heroes fall. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Good morning, Teresa. How you doing this morning? We see you. You see me. Phil kicked the cord. I don't know what happened. This computer is far too new to have freezing glitches. I'm going to have to run some diagnostics later for sure. You can hear me, but can you see me? No, it's files. It's files. Yo, what is up, Drew? All right, so I missed a lot of comments up here. I think. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. Back to the Brazil thing. Like, I'm not sure why people are so upset about the Brazil thing. Spectrum isn't in the area. RCA Yeah, we've actually where I live, Duck. I only have the option for Fios. That's it. I can't even get Comcast where I'm at. So that's it. Embrace the script. That's right. Phil, the Mr. Pink of sports podcasting. Mr. Pink. When I played college football, all of us had tendonitis in our joints. Some of us had stayed in the trainer's room with issues. If you're a trainer, then you know. Yeah, exactly. Guys, let's not argue over it. Let's not argue over who knows what and who's the smartest. Let's not do that. But back to the Brazil thing. Um, back to the Brazil thing. What is all this other stuff popping up on my screen here? Well, let's leave that on the back of the screen there. Fans are really upset about about the Brazil game. To me, I find it kind of sort of like an honor that the Eagles were picked. And I get that the fans that travel and the fans that go to home games, the biggest thing was that the Eagles announced all this, but yet season ticket holders didn't know if they were going to get a discount on their season ticket plan because one of the games that they have to pay for is taken away from them. I'm sure the Eagles will figure something out there. I'm curious with the Phillies or with the Eagles being one of the best traveling teams in football in all sports. How many Eagles fans will actually get their passport stamped and go through customs at Brazil? Eagles better be getting on all their players, making sure they got passports. But I have no issue with it. I'm going to enjoy a Friday night football game to kick off the season on a major stage. Only thing that's concerning, my biggest concern is not anything. Why does it say I'm only streaming on 3 sites now. I wonder if StreamYard had a problem. It says I'm not. I'm only streaming on 3 places right now. See, I'm sidetracked. It says I'm streaming. Nope, I am not streaming on Twitter anymore. Oh well, we're only live on 3 sites right now: Facebook and YouTube. No Twitter right now. Not sure why we got booted up. I wonder if Twitter had a problem. That's why the screen froze up. I don't know. Streaming's Phil. Time to pay the piper. My new album, Batteries for Brazil. How many Eagles fans will be lost in the rainforest? Yeah, for sure. High school football dads will be conflicted when they're at their kids' game. Yes, and I know, and everybody tells me that they have a problem with Friday night football because of the high school football, and I get it. So we'll never get regular Friday night football games. I understand that, but I don't know. I like it. I'm just curious of where the fan base will be travel wise with it. And like I said, I think it's an honor. I think it's an honor. Guys, see, you're not arguing, but you're making sly comments like that. Obviously, you two are going to argue over that. Whatever. We're going to ignore that. I think it's all uncertainty with the team in our first game. We'll be totally out of our environment. I think it's an honor, too. Yeah, I think that's the bigger issue. If they're going to do it, I'd rather them do it at the beginning of the season so they can get over whatever happens down there because there's going to be a lot of pomp and circus, a lot of fanfare. It's a big deal for Brazil. Supposedly, there's a lot of fans down there. A lot of football fans. I don't know. I'm good with it. It's going to be interesting, and we're not the only team. Another team, the other team's going to have to travel down there as well. So yeah, we'll see. With kids in sports games happen all the time during Eagles games. Yeah, I mean it happens with sports all the time in general. Those high school dads will be subscribed. Yeah, they're all going to have to subscribe. They're all going to be watching on their phones. And honestly, I mean, being in Brazil, being on a Friday night, the game probably won't start till 8:20, 8:30 probably. That would be my guess. Most high school football games start around 7 for at least in my area. So most dads will be home by halftime, probably. Maybe before that. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Look, guys, we're all getting. Yeah, that's right. I am the gatekeeper. We all get along. We all have fun here. That's what we do. Um, just have no clue what happened today and why we had to have problems today. Will be interesting to see which international city gets a team first: London, Mexico City, or a Canadian city. Well, we had this conversation sort of in the past, except especially with some of the guys that watch this show regularly from across the pond. And while London seems to sound like a good idea, it's not, in my opinion. It's not going to happen anytime soon because of the travel aspect of it. Having to have 8, 9 teams travel across the pond every single year, every single season is tough. Having the team in London have to travel all the way over here to the States for all their road games, how many times a year, would present some complications. I just don't think the travel, that kind of a travel, is probably viable on a regular basis. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it happens. Could you imagine a London team having to travel to LA to play the Rams on a given Sunday and have to fly home to play a home game the next week? I just think it presents too many issues. Mexico City or Canada would probably be the more likely place for an international team. Especially considering Canada already has NBA, MLB, and NHL teams. That to me would make the most sense. Mexico City would sort of make some sense as well. The core world order. That sounds like a shirt, right? The London Silly Nannies. Wasn't that the name of the team in the Family Guy? I think. I think that's where Peter Griffin got traded from the Patriots to the Silly Nannies or whatever. I'm digging deep into the memory bank for that one. Just don't think it's viable. I don't think it's smart. And we've had that conversation on here before with people that live over there. So that's just my opinion there. when you're on Radio Row next week, update your software next year. I'm not going to be on Radio Row this week. The Super Bowl is already happening, Super Bowl week. But I am making it. I am going to be on Radio Row next year in New Orleans. It's happening. I told my wife already. Start saving those pennies. I need plane tickets and hotel to New Orleans for next year. Family Guy reference correct. All right. I thought it was the Family Guy. Sometimes some of those cartoons, like it could have been the Family Guy, could have been American Dad. I don't know. The London Crumpets versus the Bills. Yeah. Family Guy. Exactly. I was really hoping our Eagles would have came here to Germany. And you know what's so funny? It's like the fans here in Philly are pissed about this international game. But Eagles fans internationally are probably very excited about it. I mean, I don't think it's an issue. Now, I'd rather it be in Brazil than Germany, time zone wise, at least. I don't got to wake up at 7 a.m. to watch a game. Even though you guys all overseas have to wake up how late or stay up how late to watch a game, especially like a nighttime football game. But I'm perfectly fine with the international game. And like I said, I prefer being early in the season, week 1 like that. Because anything you've got, they'll get a couple extra days before game 2. They'll have time to move on from all that. I'm not worried about it. If we lose Swift, which I'm not sure we can afford him, who's running the ball besides Gainwell? I don't know. To me, honestly, running back is the least of my worries, Dave. We'll figure it out. We figured it out last year. We knew we weren't keeping Miles Sanders, and it all worked out. We didn't go into the season with Kenny Gainwell, and that was it. We plucked Rashad Penny. He didn't get used. We got DeAndre Swift. The running back situation will be solved easy. Eckler's going to be expensive. Dillon, did he even play this year? I don't even know. They're going to draft a guy in the 5th or 6th round. They're going to sign the next Swift or Penny off the practice heap of some team, and they're going to make it work. And that's what they do. That's their philosophy. Toronto has the Argonauts. Yeah, they do. They're really good, right? The Toronto Bangers, but the Toronto Rough Riders. Rough Riders sounds like a name. NFL could start with Canada. That's like, yeah. Like I think they could. 2 to 4 a.m. It's got to suck to watch football when you're international like that. It really does. It really's got to suck to have to do that. Now, one Twitter page went back. I don't know what is going on in the world today with social media and with this streaming site. My computer, everything is all over the place. Not sure why, but it is. International games are tough on players. Jet lag makes the players not play at optimal level. Absolutely. Now, there should be no jet lag in the sense of time zone change with Brazil. I think Brazil is on the same time zone as us, right? I'm not sure. I'm not a geography major, but I think we're on the same page. What are we mad about? Did we not know this was coming? The league added that 17th regular season game specifically to have more international games. I think it's a great point you're making. We knew it was going to happen. And we've been pretty lucky. I mean, we could be the Jags where we've got to go to London every single year for a home game. I'm content. This is our first international game. I don't even know if we've won the last time or when we've ever done it. I don't remember. It happens. You're going to have this happen every so often. And if we weren't complaining about it, and it was another team, they'd be complaining about it. If it wasn't that team, if it wasn't the Cowboys complaining about it, it'd be the Giants complaining about it. If it wasn't the Giants, it'd be the Chiefs complaining about it. Some team is going to be unhappy getting this slot every year. It's unfair to the narrative that we are being screwed as Eagles fans with this game is just boring narrative because teams get plucked for these international games every single year. Philadelphia butterscotch crimpets versus the London crimpets. That's basically me versus Liam. Basically, is what you're saying. Yeah, it's terrible watching NFL over here. I only watch our birds now. I used to watch all the games. It's got to suck, for sure. Does not care about non-optimal play. Look at Thursday night games. Absolutely, exactly. Thursday night football stinks. It always stinks, and it always will stink. Nothing we can do about it, though. Honestly, at this point, I mean, I know Thursday night football ain't going to happen or get canceled, and Friday night football isn't going to be a thing because of high school football. But give me Saturday night football. Screw college. Give me Saturday night football. I hate Thursday night. I've said it a million times. Thursday and Monday night football just doesn't do it for me. But they don't care. They care about the money. And Amazon paid a shit ton of money for Thursday night football, so it ain't going anywhere. These international cities probably bring in so much money for the NFL for doing this, and it means a lot to their city. I mean, I don't know if Brazil needs the money or not, but that area, wherever that stadium is in Brazil, it's going to make a lot of money with all the fanfare that's going to go. Big deal. Canadians has the Rough Riders, the name of the group of men. Yeah, exactly. Teddy Roosevelt. The Rough Riders. Great name for a sports team, though, isn't it? Like, it really is a great name for a sports team. We are almost fully back up on every site right now. We could do a soft reset here a little early. I don't know why the screen froze up the first time, but we're on 5 sites streaming now. We're just waiting on PSN Twitter to reactivate. I don't understand why Thursday Night Football always stinks. They set up teams that were good the previous season on Thursday Night Football, and then you get a crap product. Yeah, I think that the matchups always seem to stink. The the home team always has such a distinct advantage. I'm not sure, how they could fix Thursday Night Football to make it less terrible, but I don't think they can. I just think Thursday night is just too short of a turnaround for these guys to play. I really truly believe that. The turnaround time is too low. It's too quick. But anyway, back to the points of the show. Let's kind of refresh here. Back to where the conversation originally started before we talked about Brazil and the Eagles, and before my computer crashed, and before everything went to hell today. And it happened. It is part of it. Remember, I'm the only guy with the backup plan. See,
Always got
always got side screen ready to go. It's always there in the background. So I'm prepared. Always prepared. We talked about today. We started out today talking about Jalen Hurts needs to get back to having fun. He does. Tyrese Maxey, are we putting too much pressure on him to carry this team at 23 years old when really he shouldn't? We talked about Maxey in the three-point contest. And also, thoughts and prayers to the family of Toby Keith, who passed away last night. Legend in country music. Toby Keith passes away, 62 years old, with stomach cancer. There are all the topics on the table. And, of course, Brazil and the Eagles game. This is Trending in the AM right here on Philadelphia Sports Network, live across most social media platforms. Who knows what we're on and who we're not on. Hit that like, share, retweet, subscribe, follow button wherever you're watching. Make sure you follow me, your host, Phil Stiefel, at Bearded Knowledge, but make sure you're hitting that like and share button for me. I greatly appreciate it. Right back at it here. The NFL gives 2 great matchups first 2 weeks, then the rest of the schedule on Thursday Night Football stinks. Yeah, look, I wouldn't want to be the people responsible for programming the computer program that writes that schedule. There got to be some tough algorithms that are written to figure that out. And every year, somebody's unhappy with their schedule. Multiple cities are unhappy with their schedule. It's tough. But I think that Thursday Night Football is just not necessary. Problem is, the money. They're never going to do away with it. Maxey should feel pressure. Gets to be the number 2 guy without expectation. And if he fails, the worst he is the number 2 guy. It's interesting. Interesting way to look at it. I worry. I don't like to see people crash under the pressure. There's always that chance. But this is his moment. He wants to be that star. Problem is, even if he is that star, this Sixers team is not good at. This Sixers team is built to succeed around Joel Embiid. This Sixers team is not built to win around Tyrese Maxey. That is the problem. Like, you're putting all this pressure on him But can he even succeed in this situation? All right, you want to trade Joel Embiid? I don't. But say somebody wants to hypothetically trade Joel Embiid. All right, then you go into the next offseason and you rebuild around Maxey the right way. But this team isn't built for Maxey. It's built for Joel. Shame about Toby Keith. Yep. Quick, yeah, it's a shame. It is. It's sad. Unfortunate. I totally forgot he was even sick because it's been so long. If the NFL puts a team in London permanently, that time shift between Europe and Los Angeles would be tough. It's an 8-hour time shift. Yeah. And then you'd have to write schedules where if you play in London, you have to get a bye week the week after. I think the more international they go, the more frequently international games happen in the NFL, the more likely you'll see an 18th or a 19th week in the NFL, but not an 18th game. The more international you add, if you add a team to London, say, or you keep stretching all these international games out, Germany, Mexico, Canada, London, wherever else they may go in the future, then you've got to add a second bye week to the schedule. It's unfortunate, but I think that the players will need that extra bye week to recover. You're going to need it. Maxey will become a diamond or won't. It's just that simple. But we need him to become a diamond eventually. This team is built to be Joel Embiid's team, and Maxey is that rising star to take over eventually. How many times in the NBA is there really a 23-year-old that's a diamond? Very rarely. Normally takes a little longer for that. Get a bigger guard at the deadline. This at worst, Deontay at best. To give Maxey a chance on offense by not being the only guy. See, the thing is it worth? Like someone like Deontay Murray, he's a popular name. Very popular name for Sixers fans. Is he really going to fill the void left with Joel Embiid going down? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. It's not, I don't think so. I know so. Is it worth trading 2 first-round picks plus to get Deontay Murray in here to pair with Maxey? Like, it's not working between Murray and Trae Young, another scorer in Atlanta. Why would it work with Maxey? You know, Deontay Murray's never been on a winning basketball team, I don't think. I'm almost positive he's never played on a team with a winning record before in the NBA. Don't you want a winner? Just say it. It's a lot of pressure on Maxey. He needs some downtime so he has more energy. Curry dropped a 60 burger and lost to the Hawks. It's a team game. It is, and this team, without Joel Embiid, is nowhere remotely good enough to contend for a title. It's just not. Not even close. Tyus Jones at worst, Deontay at best. Damn autocorrect there. Gotcha. I didn't know who you were going with as your other one, but Tyrese. Blah. I don't know if I'm short-circuited now. I can't say a simple name now. But yeah. Is it really worth it? Because one player is not going to make the difference for the Sixers team. Going and getting Deontay Murray is not going to make a difference. If anything, it changes your future course. Because you go get a guy that's under contract, it's just not going to happen. And it means you're committing to him for more than 1 year. The NFL is doing what every company is doing. They are diluting the product to make more product to sell at the same price. Problem is, not all companies are worth $200 bazillion and keep growing. So while the NFL keeps, as you say, diluting the product to make more and make more money, it's not like it's not working. It's not like the business of the NFL is slowing down. It's still a major business. It's still growing nonstop. So that's that part of it. Before Joel went out, they needed a second ball handler and another guard to solve that. Yeah, for when he comes back. But is he coming back this year? And he's not. So why rush and overpay now at the deadline? Because at the deadline is when stuff costs the most. Why not just wait till the offseason? Acquire as many assets as you can now and just wait till the offseason to make whatever moves you think are best suited for the big picture of this team. You got the cap space in the offseason. You'll have a countless amount of picks you can finally trade. You can have your pick of the litter if you wait till the offseason, in my opinion, if you are sure Joel Embiid's not coming back. But what's going to happen is they're going to dangle that Joel Embiid carrot in front of our faces. Maybe he'll be back soon. We'll update you in a week. And in a week, we still have no new information. We're still hoping and trending in the right direction. We'll update you in another week. The next week goes by. While he's making progress, we'll see in another week how he feels. In another week, that progress was really good. He had a slight setback, but we're still hopeful. That's what we're just going to keep hearing about Joel Embiid every week. I just want some transparent, honest answers from Daryl Morey and the team. What about Wake Morton? Something new about him? Jalen needs to be happy, look more comfortable and confident, and make sure they don't take his mobility away. I get he can't run all the time, but that's part of his game. Yeah, I just think he lost a little of his spark this year, along with not playing as well. Was it the pressure of the contract? Was it the pressure of living up to expectations from 2022? Was it the injuries? Whether it was a combination of all things, not being on the same page with Brian Johnson, there's lots of things that could have done it. But we saw that there is still some love for the game and spark in Jalen. And you see it at the Pro Bowl weekend, him laughing, having fun, running Philly specials, doing all that. And we need that Jalen Hurts back. We need the Jalen Hurts that loves the game, that's passionate about the game. We don't need frustrated, annoyed Jalen Hurts. More picks in the offseason, but unless Paul George is a free agent, Harden is the top of that class. Yeah, I don't want Paul George or James Harden. I know the free agent class is not going to be elite this upcoming offseason, but there's always trade possibilities on the market every offseason. Every guy that's on the market now will be on the market in the offseason again. Daryl Morey loves to make his trades. There will be moves available to be made. There always will be. Hell, Donovan Mitchell might be available. Not that I'm saying I want him, but there will be names available. I think he had a bone bruise in his knee, and that was in his head all year. Yeah, I think so. And when you're playing hurt and scared, because you're scared to hurt yourself even more, yeah, it can take some of the fun away. I still think he got hurt in the New England Patriots Week 1 game. And I don't think anybody really talked about that enough. We brought it up on this show a few times, but it just wouldn't. It's just not, not talked about enough. I really think something happened in that game. Our North quarterback coach has 20 years of experience on many successful teams. Yeah. Most recently, our quarterback coach helped with Dak's growth. He helped Justin Herbert this year. Another solid hire. We're really bringing in a completely new coaching staff, offensively and defensively. And there's some really intriguing names on it. And we'll get into them as the offseason goes along. But there really are some interesting things with the coaching staff happening right now. They're going to bring a fresh perspective to this team and hopefully some better results to this Eagles team. Because nobody on the NHL Flyers responded, I didn't even know they officially did it. They kept pushing off their announcements. Whoever's responsible, police-wise in Canada, didn't even know it happened because nobody even commented on it. Look, I know Carter Hart's lawyer says he is innocent and will prove his innocence. That is a tough one to believe. It's tough. It's tough to believe it. Carter Hart's done. All those players, done. And if that's true, we'll dive into it. I'll read the official charges and stuff like that today, and we'll bring it up more on the show tomorrow. But, man, NHL gave Flyers cap relief, so those guys aren't coming back. Yeah. Carter Hart's career's done, basically. If he's found innocent, his career maybe gets turned around, but he's done in Philadelphia. If the Sixers lose in the second round of the playoffs without Embiid, then that means Embiid isn't the difference maker. I was going to joke that if the Sixers get past the second round without Joel Embiid, there goes his MVP. That whole conversation that he is the most valuable player. And back to yesterday, we talked about the most valuable player Joel Embiid is in Philadelphia in ages, in decades, ever maybe. Right there with Allen Iverson. Somebody mentioned Mike Schmidt. We talked about a lot of names. And I was wrongly corrected. And I dropped the puck, I was told, on this, not mentioning in the conversation the most valuable Philadelphia athletes of all time on Bobby Clark. See what I did there? I dropped the puck on Bobby Clark. And Bobby Clark is one of the most valuable players in the history of Philadelphia sports. Steve Carlton would be way better than Mike Schmidt because of his 73 season and how important he was to the Phillies organization for a long stretch. But Joel Embiid, since Allen Iverson, is without a doubt the most valuable player in Philadelphia sports. We don't need to Hurts to throw long bombs all day. We need to get him to throw those short intermediate passes, which he is more than, and I think people are afraid to admit that he's very capable of doing it. Very capable. But that's also coaching. And when I say coaching, I don't mean he's got to be coached and taught how to throw those passes. What I'm saying is he's got to be coached and taught that it's okay to do it. We want you to look short. I really firmly believe that this whole we want more explosive plays conversation constantly coming from the organization. Well, those 4 didn't work, so next time we're going to run 5. And those 5 didn't work, so we're going to run 6. He is being coached to look long. He's being told that is our bread and butter. That's what we want to do as an organizational philosophy. Well, hopefully, there's some tweaks happening to that philosophy. Hopefully, there's going to be more routes with underneath and crossing routes and out patterns and short passes. There's going to be more attention to running backs catching the ball out of the backfield. At least that's what we have to hope for. That's the accounting of the game. They need to respond to the issue at hand, even if we are going to wait for judgment. Yeah. They have to at least address it. They just have to say, hey, we are aware of the official charges levied against Carter Hart. Legally, we have no comment at this time. As soon as we have the opportunity to say something, we will. And that kind of sort of what Danny Briere said at his press conference a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it being official yesterday doesn't change anything, I guess, really. London, Ontario Police Service. That's right. I wanted to say that, but I wasn't positive. London, Ontario. I don't know the difference between the police in Canada and in the United States. Like, I don't know what kind of differences there are, but yeah. Hockey Canada didn't make it better with all the back end stuff with pulling funds to pay off victims. Yeah, absolutely. Service had to wait until the police commissioner retired before reopening. I did not know that part of it. The police commissioner had to retire. Some shady stuff going on up there in Canada for sure. And I'll say, like, I've got a lot of friends from my traveling days that live in Canada that are from Canada. And we think we got it bad here in our country. Man, some of the stuff they share on social media, how frustrated they are with their government, man, we got it good here compared to some of that I've read. The investigation, so there are more people going to get black eyes on this. It's an ugly look for hockey, not just in the NHL, not just in Philadelphia, but everywhere. It really is. Triple H was in charge of the Flyers. I haven't read the charges, but can't we talk about how great this week was? Yeah, sounds about right. Look, what do you want like, do you want him to address physically what happened to his father-in-law? Like, I don't know. I don't think legally he can, but also big picture, it's probably better to deflect some of that. You make a statement, and that's it, and then you move on. You don't have to answer questions because the questions can't really be answered. But it's a shame. It's a shame what happened. I feel for the victim or victims. The way you said victims earlier, Duck, there's more than one. Like, I thought it was just the one person. But if there's more victims that are going to come forward on it, it's even worse. I I doubt that he didn't read it. I'm sure he was prepped or at least read the cliff notes on everything. Triple H, that is, on the Vinnie Mac stuff. I just think that that's probably was his way of deflecting because he didn't know or feel confident or comfortable answering the questions. Let's be honest. Triple H he's a CEO, he's an executive, but he's really just a wrestler, put in a role. And he's darn good at it to an extent. I'm sure he doesn't have as much training as we think, or he should have in that situation. I knew some soldiers in the army that got charged with sexually assaulting a female soldier. She was walking around a bunch of 20 young men with revealing clothes on. Women have to be careful. Let's not Mister blame the women whatsoever. I don't care what they're wearing. That's not what we do. Can't make excuses for sexual assault. You can't do it at all. No, none. Now that just kind of stole my vibe for the day. Because it might not have been what you meant, but it's kind of how I read it. Not in a good way. I don't even know what you mean by if a WL. I don't even know what that means there. Sorry, I'm lost here. I'm lost on this one here. Let's get back to talking football. Eagles, Sixers, whatever. Phillies again. Like I said at the beginning of the show, got the T-shirt site back up and running. It's in the link in the bio. If you want a Core 12 shirt or a Stop shirt, they're in the bio of the show, description of the show. Yeah. Anyway, I'm lost. I'm sorry, Mister. We don't always agree, but I think your comment was way off base right there, for sure. Phillies have nothing going on. The Phillies are continuing not to sign players, and you know what, Duck? I almost don't care that they're not signing players right now because most of the players that people are getting frustrated that they're not signing, not all of them, most of the ones that we're not happy that they skipped over are just people are upset that they're skipping over these guys, but there's a reason most of them. None of them are superstars. None of them are major needle movers. This team needs bullpen help. This team needs bench help, and they got to get back at it. So that's that. But we're 9 days away, 8 days away from camp opening. We're 50, 51 days till the first pitch. Baseball's here. Will the Phillies? We're going to do after the trade deadline and after the Super Bowl next week. We are going to have with camp starting. We're going to do lineup. We're going to do a show talking about the lineup for sure because I think there's a lot of interesting things with the lineup. Typo back to fun things. Jalen running around with Vuzius in Brazil. I love all the Fast and the Furious memes that are being made out of it. With The Rock versus this is Brazil. I love that stuff. The memes they're rolling around right now, and the gifs are hilarious with that. One thing I will say, please do not. I do not need some drunk Eagles fan in Brazil putting an Eagles jersey on the statue. Please don't. I already saw somebody do a photo edit of it. We don't need that. Don't do that, guys. That's all I can say to that one. A1. Coming in late. Coming in hot, but coming in late. Are those stupid, annoying horns? Okay. Look, I don't know. It's just the way it came off. That's the way it came off to me. Not blame per se, but deflecting some of it towards them. It's their fault for wearing certain things. As an Eagles fan, a bit concerned that the Commanders are making moves with Kingsbury, Quinn, probably draft Khalib, and they have a lot of salary cap space. I am not remotely concerned about Cliff Kingsbury going to the Commanders to be the offensive coordinator. I am not even remotely concerned about Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Washington Commanders. I am definitely not concerned of them trading multiple draft picks to move up to 1 to get Caleb Williams. I am definitely not concerned if they don't get Caleb Williams and Sam Howell. I'm not concerned about the Commanders at all. As long as Josh Harris, we know too much about Josh Harris's way that of doing business that I'm not worried about him. Even if what you say is accurate here, that they're doing good things, it is going to take so long for them to rehab that team completely. Not concerned about the Commanders. The Commanders might be the worst team in the NFC East next year. Again, Josh Harris. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I just said in a nutshell, in 5 or 10 words, right there. You do realize that the Jesus statue is like 60 feet tall. I know we can pull up stupid stuff, but that's true. That's true. I didn't know it was 60 feet tall, but I know it's big. Not only that, there'd be one big ass jersey you'd have to get. One big ass jersey to get it on there. But we're Eagles fans. That's all I'll say to that. Where there's a will, there's a way. I already saw somebody say they better grease the statue up. I'm grabbing a mind fart here. The Brazil statue. I can't remember the name of it, and I don't know why. I don't know why I can't remember it. Christ the Redeemer statue. Is that what it is? I thought there was a fancy name for it in Brazil. I can't find the fancy name, but it's the Christ the Redeemer statue. I thought I could do a quick Google search and find the name and try to butcher it, but no. Commies will take them 3 to 4 seasons to get even close to the glory days. Exactly. And that's if Josh Harris allows them to. To me, honestly, Caleb Williams is just a placeholder to help change the culture a little bit. If they really go Caleb Williams to pair him with Cliff Kingsbury, the ultimate goal is probably to turn the reins over to Cliff Kingsbury there in Washington. That's probably what it is. And that does nothing for me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. I'd be more scared of the Giants, even though the Giants are a train wreck. But the Commanders, they're 3 to 4 years off even remotely being good. It's still the Eagles and the Cowboys division, and it will be for a very long time. I don't see any other team. That's the good thing. I mean, we complain, we bitch and moan. But this Eagles team, even if they have a mediocre offseason, the Eagles will still be a playoff contender and a division contender going forward because they're still a damn good team, but also they're in a very top and bottom heavy division. You got the Eagles and the Cowboys, and then you get Giants and the Commanders. The Giants are an offensive line away from being decent and competitive. No, they're not. They're a quarterback, a wide receiver, and an offensive line. Their defense is solid. Brian Dabble, however you say it, is a solid coach. But I don't worry about him. And look, the headline of this show, Jalen Hurts needs to get back to having fun. Jalen Hurts resort. So like we can all agree maybe that Jalen Hurts isn't 2022 good, but he's also not 2023 bad. He's somewhere in between there. If we get closer to 2022 than 2023 Hurts, it's a wrap. No matter what happens this offseason, it's a wrap. It really is. Hey, you know me. You know me. Give me the name. Give me the name I'm looking for. What's the fancy name for the Christ the Redeemer statue? I'll try to pronounce it. I'll give you something to laugh about to close out the show. I'm scared to hit any more tabs because K1, you missed it. I already crashed once in the middle of the show. Whole computer just blew up here. Luckily, I've got the backup screen always on standby. The wide receivers are okay and could be competitive. The O-line is an issue. And Daniel Jones just stinks. Brian DeBoll. D-Bowl? I've never known how to say Brian Dabble. I've always said Dabble. D-Bowl? Is it? Or are you just messing with me? I don't know if you're just messing with me or not because I really have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Oh, man, guys. What a day. What a show. What a day. Again, shout out to you guys. made the t-shirt site. It's back up. It's back running. Make sure you check it out. It's linked in the description of this show. My t-shirt site. You can get a Core 12 shirt. You can get a Stop shirt. You get the original Fairway to Heaven, not the copycat from a makeup league. Cristo Redentor is what they call it. And that is just Christ the Redeemer. Cristo Redentor. Is that right? You like my little roll of the tongue? Cristo Redentor. I tried to roll my tongue a little bit for that one. I don't think I did a bad job. We lose Cox. Tell BG thanks, but no. Do we make an offer someone like Chase Young in San Francisco? It's a storyline in Super Bowl week that's not getting enough headlines. The 49ers are considering benching Chase Young for the Super Bowl because of a lack of effort thing. The reason why Washington wanted to move on from him so quickly. He's got a motivational thing. He's got a drive thing. There's something wrong with Chase Young. We don't need a guy coming to Philly, Dave, that's got that kind of a question mark. I don't care how cheaply you can get him. I don't care how talented he is. We don't need guys that don't give 110% in Philadelphia. We don't. The psyche of this team, the psyche of this fan base, the psyche of this organization is teetering. It really is. Because of that collapse, it's teetering. Do we need Nick Sirianni to have somebody like Chase Young to worry about? I don't think so. Now, I would say you have a better chance of bringing. It would be smarter to bring Chase Young in if Cox and Brandon Graham stuck around, because at least you would have that veteran, borderline Hall of Fame talent there to help teach him to be a grown up. Sometimes when a player is lazy or whatnot, or doesn't give 110% every play, sometimes it's a maturity thing. So someone like Cox or Brandon Graham could take him under his wing and maybe make him a better player. Yeah, they've been talking now for a week or two. I think it was in the divisional round that there was a play that Chase Young just was standing there, didn't even try to make a play. Kind of like James Bradbury on the Eagles this past year. But yeah, no, don't need him if he's got an attitude issue joining this team, especially if Cox and Graham are gone. Yeah, but Chase Young is an easy name to pronounce. That is true. I could find a way to butcher it. Is it Chase Youngi? Is that how you say it? No, that wasn't even fun. Yeah, I want nothing to do with Chase Young, especially if some of those veterans move on. Speaking of veterans moving on, Jason Kelce. He did say something. He was signing autographs at the Pro Bowl. Someone released a video of him saying, I'm going to try. They said, please don't retire, Jason, because I'm going to try not to. It tells me he might consider it. You tell me. The NFL is going to do everything they can to convince Jason Kelce to come back. You got to believe the NFL wants Jason Kelce in Brazil week 1. One of the biggest personalities, one of the most famous faces, in Philadelphia and the Eagles, to be there for this big international matchup. Seriously, though, Young's tendencies to dog it was well known in Washington. Yeah. Do you want somebody that dogs it like that on your team that's got a teetering locker room, a teetering, thing right now? Chase Young is an amazing athlete. Too bad he doesn't have the internal fortitude to play with heart. Yeah. There's no denying that Chase Young is an elite defender, an elite guy at getting after a quarterback. But you got to want it, too. You got to want it. There's a reason why San Francisco is considering benching him for the Super Bowl. Could you imagine what what kind of a blow that's got to be to a young person's ego? Maybe that's the wake-up call that he needs as a player. Gets benched during the Super Bowl, or gets benched for the Super Bowl. Could you imagine being someone like Chase Young and his level of athleticism and potential skill set, and being on the inactive list for the Super Bowl, healthy scratch? Maybe that would be the wake-up call he needs to become the true athlete and true successful athlete he should be. I don't know. Maybe. Something to think about, guys. It is. All right. I'm gonna call this show about 5 minutes early here. We're gonna start the wrap up now. I'm gonna try. Maybe this is what froze the show up the first time. I'm gonna put up some of these pictures for you guys to see. These are just the colors I picked, but this is where linked below is where the link to get them. But there's the Core 12 shirt for you guys now available on my t-shirt site. You've got that. You got the stop trending in the AM shirt right there. Make sure you check that one out. All different colors and designs. And of course, the original, not a new tour ripoff, Fairway to Heaven, since Liv decided to steal my name. All available, all there, on my t-shirt site, linked in the bottom of this show. Make sure you check it out. With as little as they pay Purdy, that's how San Francisco affords so many ballers. Well, that's going to change in the offseason. They're going to have to pay Purdy. So it'll be interesting to see what the 49ers do after they have to pay Purdy. Link in the bio. Link in the description of the show. Check it out. There's also there's quite a few shirts there. Quite a few designs. I've had it up for a while. Sold a few things. I haven't really done much with it for a while. Haven't updated in a while. It's frustrating getting images not to get banned because of copyrights and stuff. If Chase Young had Britt Covey Hart, he would be the next Lawrence Taylor. Still, I'm hoping. I'm hoping for a little bit more. A little bit more from Britt Covey next year. Sixers are a play-in team. They probably are. Marshall, getting in a little late in this conversation. Tomorrow, Sean Bernard will be on for a little bit. We'll talk more about the Sixers tomorrow. Are they a play-in team? Are they buyers? Are they sellers? It's interesting. Too much pressure being put on Tyrese Maxey if Joel Embiid legitly isn't going to be around. It's tough. It's a sad state. It's a sad state. Next comment. It's a sad state watching. Dude, I tried to watch the game last night. I did. I got home from work about midway through the second quarter, put it on, and dude, I was watching reels on my phone while the game was on the background. This team was built a certain way to maximize Joel Embiid's talents. And there are unworldly talents, otherworldly talents. But now he's not here. And now the team is going to falter. It brings up the conversation, is it right to build your team solely around one player? You don't have the Flyers. They've lost like 5 or 6 in a row. I don't even know when they come out of the All-Star break. Tomorrow, tonight, whatever. But yeah, no, we don't have the Flyers. We got the Phillies. We're 8 or 9 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting. Which team has been most creative in letting us down? I have no idea. We're let down far too often, but we keep coming back for more. It's because that is who we are. It is. We still have life. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up Trend in the AM right there for the morning. I don't know what happened today. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sorry to anybody that tried to watch on Twitter because, the PSN Twitter page never came back up. The others did eventually. But we figured it out. We still have the Core 12. We do. Yeah. We're gonna just end it there. I was gonna make a joke, but we're not going to. Guys, everybody have a great day. Great Tuesday. Tonight, 9 p.m. Fairway to Heaven. Talking the Waste Management Phoenix Open. If you don't pay attention to golf, this is the week to get into golf. It's like the golf meets the Super Bowl, meets a fraternity party, is the party of the year for golf. Make sure you come check me out with my man, Jason Sullivan. We have a guest, my man, Rashad. He's a great golf guy. We're going to be talking tonight about golf. 8 o'clock, I'll be on Edge of Philly with my man, Deebs and Shane Half. Make sure you check me out there tonight at 8. So 8 o'clock, Edge of Philly. 9 o'clock, right back here for Fairway to Heaven. The real Fairway to Heaven. The original Fairway to Heaven. Eagles and Phillies have been most creative so far, for sure. Absolutely. Waste management, baby. I love it. I got an interesting question for tonight's show. Would you rather play 16 at TPC Scottsdale in the stadium hole with 10,000 drunk people cheering you on at the tee box, or would you rather a quiet 17th at TPC Sawgrass and try to hit the island green? What would you make par at first? 16 at Scottsdale or 17 at Sawgrass? That is going to be the question to kick off Fairway to Heaven tonight. The realest fair way to have it. The original. It's the original. Tony Soprano was in Waste Management. Are you in the mafia? Anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. See, I tried to start the wrap up at 124 on my clicker up here. It's now 129. See, we didn't waste any time, guys. We got you for a full show, guys. Everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow with more conversation. And as always, go Birds.